When someone first signs up, they're really keen to get going with things as soon as possible. And I think it's really important for them to leave feeling as if they've really started a business. You want them to leave the appointment where they signed up so excited that they just can't wait to get started. They need to hit the ground running with what they need to get started. Otherwise, they could have a misguided attempt at it and not have an experience that we want them to have right at the beginning. So what do you give them to start with? At the very least, I would give them a product catalogue or some product information so they can start reading about it. People join because they love the products, so a product manual would be appropriate. They want to go home and start devouring all the information about the products. I liked to make it quite official, and I gave them a folder called Let's Begin, amongst a few other things to take with them from the meeting. Now, the way that you run the Let's Begin session will depend on whether you are doing launches for your new consultants or whether you're not. I did not do launches for new consultants, so that I'm going to take you through what I did. If you do launches for consultants, I would encourage you to think about getting them to still attempt to get bookings themselves before the launch party, so that they've got some dates in place by the time the launch party comes along. So this process will still work for them as well. If you are doing launch parties and you're doing practically everything for the consultant, they're not really learning how to get going for themselves. So I'd encourage you to think about getting them to call for bookings, call people that they know to ask for bookings for parties, and if they can't host, to then ask them if they would like to come to the launch. If they can book, if they do decide to book, great, they can still come to the launch, they can still be invited to the launch to come and see what it's all about. But I really think it's important for consultants to take the initiative in their own businesses. So in the additional resources part of this course, you'll find a skeleton outline of the things that were in my folder. You'll find the session today more helpful if you either open that file on your computer or go there and get it and print it out. As we go through it now, you could probably write some changes that you might make yourself or jot down any questions you'd like to have clarified. So it may be a good idea to just stop the recording right now, go and get that, and then come back and press play. So you're going to modify all of these things to suit yourself. And the first page that they have in the folder is a welcome letter. This page also gives you a new consultant information about their contacts, and you can include some other information if you like. This is not the whole page, obviously, but you will see the whole page in your notes that you can print out. The next page in the folder contains the consultant agreement and all of the forms that they have to sign. So we're doing this as soon as they've said yes. Once that's done, I would ask them if they've got another 20 minutes spare to be able to go through just a little bit of initial information that they'll find helpful. If not, then you'll have to do this bit later or at another day, or just do it very briefly and follow up the next day with a phone call. That's not ideal, but you'll just have to go with whatever you get at that stage. So now you need to let them know about the training they're going to get and make some dates, if at all possible, for the next session. So this is the next page in the folder. The order of pages is important in the folder because they're all building on each other. So this is going to set them up for all of their training to get them started. It lets them be prepared. It also sets up good expectations for them. So while you're both there, you can coordinate your diaries. So on here, on this page, will be the dates for each of the 5 sessions, which are Let's Begin, which is what we're doing right now, the observation party, the practical training, where the recap and paperwork, where we're going to help them reflect and learn from the first few parties they've done and help them learn how to make some improvements to their results, and then the new consultant day that'll be done a little bit later. We want your new consultant to get a bit excited about the incentives that are available to her, so take her through the ones that are relevant to her now. Don't take her through the incentives that will mean nothing to her at the moment, the things that are available for the brand new consultants. So there could be some new start incentives for the first 30, 60 or 90 days or something similar that you have. There could also be monthly incentives for all consultants, and you might even have your own incentive that you give as well. Make sure it's exciting and that she really feels like she can achieve it, and use some stories of other people that you know, perhaps that are in a similar situation to your current new consultant who achieved these things. So give her a bit of help about how to go about them. how many parties she would need to get done by when, and things like that. Here's an example of something that works very well with new consultants. It's based on something that a lot of people use for hostesses, for hostess coaching to have a successful party. And when we're using it for hostesses, we have obviously things in the squares that are suitable for a hostess, like have an outside booking before your party, get some outside orders, have 6 people in attendance. So this is the same sort of a thing, but it's for new consultants. So tic-tac bingo. So for every line that they can cross, just like if you're playing noughts and crosses, every line that you cross, you'll get some sort of a free tool. So it could be some literature that they would have to purchase, or something that's going to help them in their business, a display cloth. I'm sure you can think of some things that would be appropriate. She's got 90 days to do it. Obviously you set whatever you want as the time, and you also set what you want in the squares. But in this example, she's got 90 days to do it. And if she gets bingo, which is to cross off every single square, then she'll receive a very special gift. And you should make this actually quite a good gift, possibly to do with the business, a product that she doesn't have, or something for her. And these gifts, all of them, should be presented at meetings. As the days go past, as soon as somebody manages to strike off a row, then that particular gift needs to be given at the next meeting. Now, if your company doesn't require a certain number of bookings to start, I still recommend that you give an incentive at least for having 6 bookings within a short amount of time. In my experience, having only 2 or 3 bookings in the beginning seldom results in the launch of a really successful business that has hit the road running. So think about making that a goal for your new consultants as they first start off.